because people were booing. And after they announced that I wasn't coming on, then people were saying,
the fans were pissed.
They were pissed. And then there was DMs coming and saying, Babyface is a no-show. And I didn't want that to be the story, so I didn't want to put it, I just tried to make an announcement to at least say, hey, couldn't go on tonight for technical difficulties. I was asked not to go on. We had great relationship. My relationship with Anita has been fine. I don't fight people. We don't go at it. We're very, very nice to each other. In terms of what happened that night, it was really, things got out of hand because there was a technical issue in the terms of there was a video wall, this big video wall that Anita uses every night. It wasn't working. And they spent the whole day trying to get it together. We arrived there, work on it while we were on stage, but no, we want to start the whole show right. So ultimately, all the time was lost. By the time the realization came that it wasn't going to be fixed, it was 9 o'clock.
Most of the compositions on this composition.
Yeah, there's 9 cuts, and 7 out of 9 I've either co-written or arranged or wrote, and we did a whole lot of work this time. Sweet love.
Tonight with singer Anita Baker, who will not be locked up anytime soon. Only 7 Action News was there when a Wayne County judge got rid of that bench warrant that had been issued for Baker's arrest as part of a civil lawsuit.
An emergency hearing in Wayne County Circuit Court this morning. Baker's lawyer asked Judge Edward Ewell to get rid of a bench warrant that had been issued for the Songstress last week. The warrant stemmed from a civil lawsuit that a painter filed against Baker a few years ago. The suit claims that Baker owes Ray A. Smith Painting and Decorating more than $15,000 for work done in the dining room of her Grosse Pointe home.
I've been handling matters for Ms. Baker for quite some time now, and I've never had a situation or an issue with her not appearing or making it difficult to appear.
Now that the bench warrant has been lifted, Baker is able to travel. She will be returning soon to Detroit to defend herself.
Anita Baker thanked Chance the Rapper. He was instrumental in helping her get control of her master. She was in a long fight with her former label for control of the recordings, and she just emerged victorious.
Would you guys say hello to a friend of mine by way of the music industry and by way of helping me to get a hold and ownership of my master recording? Yeah. Mr. Chance the Rapper, is that
said that artists should own their masters, and she had actually told people not to stream or purchase any of her music from the Elektra Records label due to the master recordings dispute, but now she's gotten control.
It goes to.
I want to thank your mom. I want to thank Lois Landry, without whom I would not be singing today. And my sister Jean, my niece and my nephew, Mashawn and Jermaine, and don't forget my producer, Mike Powell. And
in a wild emergency hearing this morning over at Wayne County Circuit Court, Baker's lawyer came through, asking Judge Edward Ewell to throw out that bench warrant that was slapped on the songstress last week. And let me tell you, this whole mess stems from a civil lawsuit filed by a painter a few years back. The suit claims that Baker still owes Ray A. Smith a cool $15,000 for decorating and painting the dining room in her fancy Grosse Pointe mansion. Yep, you heard that right. $15,000 for a little paint and some brushes. Wild, huh? Anita Baker's saga? Oh, honey, it's got all the drama you could ever need, just like her legendary voice that's impossible to forget.
And I were at the Social and Music Awards, and I got an award. And I was so excited. And at that time, I really liked Anita Baker, too. I was like, oh, wow. And I was walking past her, and she stopped me, and I thought she was going to congratulate me. And she whispered in my ear, she said, you take that award and put it up on your mantle, because it's the only one you're going to get.
From owning the charts to starting all kinds of messy feuds that had everybody in their feelings, Anita's life has been far from a quiet ride. She's been adored, dragged through the mud, and caught up in scandals that had fans out here clutching their pearls. So what's really going on with this R&B queen? Strap in, baby. This story's a crazy blend of major success, shady moments, and drama that'll have you hooked.
You know, you're an icon in R&B, but you're now in an R&B.
Nice. Good word.
Good Morning America called it R&B. I was looking on TV and they said that you're in the middle of an R&B with Anita Baker.
And trust, you didn't see this one coming. The Anita Baker and Babyface drama of 2023. Oh baby, it was straight up messy, and the streets couldn't stop talking about it.
Anita Baker has removed Babyface from her tour after several days of criticizing him on Twitter. Anita Baker said, after silently enduring cyberbullying, verbal abuse, and threats of violence from the fan base of our special guest, support act. In the interest of personal safety, I will continue the Songstress tour alone.
What was supposed to be a legendary celebration of two R&B icons quickly turned into a whole soap opera, and fans had no choice but to pick sides. It all went down during Anita's Songstress tour, what was supposed to be the ultimate dream lineup, until everything took a sharp turn. Babyface, who was invited to join as a special guest, suddenly found himself caught up in a messy online storm that no one saw coming.
I saw people upset about that. Like, I saw what Tank said, you know what I mean? But the reality is, if that's Anita Baker's tour.
Oh, she didn't just sit back and take it quietly. Nah, she hopped right onto social media, claiming the whole thing was about personal safety. But instead of squashing the drama, baby, she lit the internet on fire. Fans were instantly split. Some were all for her, backing her up like, she's gotta protect herself, period. While others, they came for her neck, calling her extra and petty, acting like she was doing the most for no reason.
We had great relationship. My relationship with Anita has been fine. I don't fight people. We don't go at it. We're very, very nice to each other. In terms of what happened that night, it was really, things got out of hand because there was a technical issue in the terms of, like, there was a video wall, this big video wall that Anita uses every night. It wasn't working, and they spent the whole day trying to get it together. We arrived there, work on it while we were on stage, but nope, we want to start the whole show right. So ultimately, all the time was lost. By the time the realization came that it wasn't going to be fixed, it was 9 o'clock.
Meanwhile, Babyface, he stayed cool as a cucumber. As you'd expect, he dropped a smooth, well-worded statement saying he was disappointed, but still wished Anita and the whole tour nothing but the best. Real classy, right? But you know the internet was still buzzing.
Because people were booing, and after they announced that I wasn't coming on, then people were saying,
the fans were pissed.
They were pissed, and then there were DMs coming and saying, Babyface is a no-show, and I didn't want that to be the story, you know, so I didn't want to put it, I just tried to make an announcement to at least say, hey, couldn't go on tonight for technical difficulties. I was asked not to go on.
You could practically hear him sighing through the screen like, I'm not finna do this with y'all. But the fans, they weren't about to let it go that easy. They were all over it, dissecting every little thing, making sure this drama stayed front and center.
The idea that...
First, I have no problem being a support act for Anita Baker. I have that much love and respect for her art. And it was her show. So I have no issue with that. And I think that I was looking as forward to watch Anita every night as well.
That they were out here saying Babyface was disrespected from jump, especially since Anita listed him as a special guest instead of a co-headliner like he deserved. Fans were like, hold up, you're not gonna play Babyface like that. And the shade was real. That little bit of shade, it did not slip past anyone's radar. People started asking if there had been tension brewing behind the scenes way before that harassment claim came out. The streets and socials were on fire. Was Anita really in danger? Or was she just using that as a way to cut ties and create an exit? Either way, the drama stole the spotlight from the music, leaving both artists tangled in a cloud of controversy. But one thing Anita definitely showed us, when she steps on that stage, you better be ready for the hits and the whole spectacle that comes with it. Oh, honey, the Anita Baker and Babyface drama wasn't just a 2023 mess. Nah, this tension had been simmering for years, like a pot on the stove just waiting to boil over. Let's take it back to 2006, when the first signs of trouble showed up in public. What was the issue? Like you used to do. That's where it all started, and trust me, things only got messier from there.
Security, help them out, and I mean out. I'm knocking on the road.
Oh, you thought the Anita Baker and Babyface drama just popped off in 2023? Nah, this was a long time coming. We gotta rewind all the way to 2006, when things first started to crack. Remember that track Like You Used to Do from Anita's 2004 comeback album, My Everything? Babyface, the smooth R&B king himself, co-wrote, produced, and even blessed the track with his silky vocals. But underneath that musical magic, chaos was bubbling. Babyface didn't just want to make hits, he wanted his cut. He accused Anita of skipping out on their oral agreement about royalties. Yep, he claimed she owed him a fat stack of cash cash, and baby, he wasn't letting that slide. The lawsuit itself was juicy enough, but it wasn't just about the money. Nah, it was two R&B legends locked in a battle that had fans shook. Anita, already a pro at navigating record label drama and courtroom battles, wasn't about to roll over. She fought back, and while it didn't make the front pages, the whispers in the industry were loud and clear. Anita and Babyface? Yeah, they weren't cool anymore. And just when you thought it couldn't get more dramatic, Anita found herself at the center of yet another controversy. Videos surfaced of her clashing with fans during her performances, and y'all, it was something else. The clip showed her stopping mid-song, clearly irritated, calling out the fans in the front row for recording her show. "Put the phones down," she snapped, making it crystal clear she wasn't here for those impromptu live streams. The internet went wild. Drama on top of drama, I swear.
Time to time, a lot of people in the business that are accustomed to a singer doing things in a certain way, and I don't fit that mold all the time.
Her frustration, oh, it was real, and you could feel that tension spread through the crowd like wildfire. Some fans were all for her, backing her up like, "Yes, queen, stand up for your art." They were saying recording at concerts messes up the whole vibe and shows disrespect to the artist. But honey, not everyone was on her side. Critics came for her neck, calling her ungrateful and saying she was out of touch with today's concert culture. You know, the whole everyone's recording and sharing moments thing. The internet was split, and the drama kept on rolling.
What's your favorite fisherman?
My granddad.
Nita likes to fish.
Yeah.
Did you know that? She likes to fish.
The women are going, "Oh God, fishing. Oh, what is wrong with this woman?" When I would go fishing with my granddaddy, we used to go in Canada, Point Pelee, sit on these big rocks over the lake. I used to do that. I used to go to the bait shop with him and say, "Nitty, hand me some bait," and I get him some bait, hand him some bait, but I don't do that anymore.
To some, Anita's actions came across as a full-on diva move, unnecessary and straight up alienating. And baby, it only got messier from there. The internet, being the internet, turned that incident into a full-on battlefield. On one side, you had the die-hard Anita fans defending their queen like she's just setting boundaries and protecting the art of the live show. But on the other side, people were coming for her, calling her overly controlling, saying she forgot the fans were the reason she had a career in the first place. It wasn't just about a few phones, it was bigger than that. Over the years, Anita had built a reputation for being uncompromising, and moments like this just kept feeding the fire. Was she a misunderstood artist standing firm on her craft? Or was she pushing away the very people who had lifted her up for decades? The debate raged on, leaving her relationship with the public more strained and complicated than ever. And now, let's take it back a bit. Born January 26, 1958 in Toledo, Ohio, Anita Baker's early life wasn't all glitter and glam. Her mom left her when she was just 2 years old, and she ended up being raised by foster parents in Detroit. But even through all those hardships, Anita found comfort in her close bond with her grandfather. They had some of the sweetest moments together, especially on their fishing trips, which became a tradition they both cherished. And let me tell you, Anita's love for fishing is deep. It's her escape, her peace, a moment to just be still and find solace by the water.
I've always got the most tremendous amount of pleasure from singing. The band is right when the sound is right. It's the out-of-body experience. It really is. You go someplace else, and when the song is over, you come back.
By the time Anita hit 12, life hit her with yet another heavy blow. Her foster parents passed away, and suddenly her foster sister had to step up and raise her. Yet even with all these hardships stacking up, Anita's love for music didn't just survive, it flourished. Through all the pain and struggle, music became her escape, her light at the end of the tunnel.
I've done a lot of performing with local bands back home in Detroit, and one of the bands was called Chapter 8. We recorded an album for Areola Records back in '79, which brought us out here to a small club. A gentleman saw us, managed us, and later on, he formed his own record company, and he remembered me and sent me a contract.
Anita wasn't wasting any time. By 12, she was already singing gospel, and by 16, she was out here performing with local R&B bands, making her presence known. But her big break came in 1975 when she joined Chapter 8, a Detroit-based band that would open the door for her career to skyrocket. Baby, the journey was just getting started.
I just want to be yours.
In 1979, Chapter 8 dropped their self-titled album, marking a major moment in Anita's career. That was the year the world got a taste of what was to come. And honey, it was just the beginning of Anita's rise to the top.
In the law office, what were we doing?
I was your basic 9 to 5 receptionist. Good morning, Queen Budai.
Did anybody there know what you did at night, singing and stuff?
No, not at all. I never talked about it very much. You know, I had the basic insecurities. You know, you don't tell people that you sing.
This is like a flash dance trip. I mean, here you are. Were you really a short order cook?
Yes, pardon the pun, but
were you good?
Yes, I was. I still am.
You're a good cook.
Oh, yeah.
Have any meat on your bones?
Well,
you don't eat your own cooking. When did you come out here?
I've been here since April of '82.
And why did you come here?
I got lucky. I was offered a record deal.
Somebody walked into a law office or a restaurant and saw you cooking, throwing hash browns and said, gee, you'd make a great singer. Wow.
And eventually connected with music executive Otis Smith, who convinced her to go solo. Her 1983 debut album, The Songstress.
But when Arista Records swooped in and took over their label, they dropped Chapter 8, saying Anita didn't have the star power to make it. Ouch, right? But let me tell you, Anita wasn't about to let that stop her. She headed back to Detroit, took on odd jobs to make ends meet, but she never gave up on her dream. The Queen wasn't done yet. Eventually, Anita crossed paths with music exec Otis Smith, who saw the star in her and convinced her to go solo. And thank goodness he did. In 1983, she dropped The Songstress, her debut album, and let me tell you, that was the moment Anita truly stepped into her own and started shining like the star she was always meant to be. The Songstress may not have made major waves commercially, but it laid the groundwork for everything that came next. Fast forward to 1986, and Anita hit us with Rapture, the album that changed the game. With hits like Sweet Love, she became an unstoppable force in R&B, and the world couldn't get enough. That was the moment Anita Baker truly claimed her throne. Oh, and baby, we all got caught up in the Rapture. That album had everyone hooked, from the smooth melodies to Anita's powerhouse vocals. It wasn't just a hit, it was a whole vibe. Anita Baker became a global sensation after that, honey. Rapture didn't just make waves, it created a whole tidal wave. The album snagged her 2 Grammys and solidified her place as one of the leading voices of the quiet storm genre. And she wasn't slowing down. Her follow-up album, Giving You the Best That I Got in 1988, took things even higher, showing the world she was here to stay.
Most of the compositions on this composition.
Yeah, there's like 9 cuts, and 7 out of 9 I've either co-written or arranged or wrote, and we did a whole lot of work this time.
And then came compositions in 1990, where Anita kept the momentum going with even more timeless tracks. Each album was like a new chapter, but she was still giving us nothing less than the best, proving over and over that she was a true R&B queen.
This far. So, to be on the Walk of Fame where legends are, holy smoke.
Compositions earned her even more accolades and added millions of fans to her loyal army. Anita's reign just kept growing, and with every album, she solidified her legacy as one of the greatest in R&B history.
What made you make that decision?
Well, I wish I could say it was a conscious decision. It was just something that happened. Each time I try to leave to go to LA to record or go to Nashville or to New York, even though, Nashville is really close, it just became a thing where any place away from them was just too far away. And I couldn't focus when I did leave, and so the music wouldn't come. And I even, tried putting a studio in my home, but they became my focal point.
By the mid-90s, Anita Baker was a straight-up household name. Her sultry, jazz-infused R&B was everywhere, and her impact on music was undeniable. In recognition of her incredible legacy, she even got her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, cementing her place in history as one of the all-time greats.
Anita Baker thanked Chance the Rapper. He was instrumental in helping her get control of her master. She was in a long fight with her former label for control of the recordings, and she just emerged victorious.
Would you guys say hello to a friend of mine by way of the music industry and by way of helping me to get a hold and ownership of my master recording? Yeah. Mr. Chance the Rapper is out there.
Always said that artists should own their masters, and she had actually told people not to stream or purchase any of her music from the Elektra Records label due to the master recordings dispute, but now she's gotten control.
Baker's personal life? Oh, it was just as complicated as her career. She married Walter Bridgeforth Jr. in 1988, and the couple had 2 sons, Edward and Walter Bridgeforth. But by 2005, things started to fall apart. Their divorce stretched out until 2007, with Anita even filing to legally drop her ex-husband's last name years later. Behind the scenes, family life wasn't all smooth sailing. Baker dealt with the heartache of a miscarriage early in their marriage, and after that, she turned her focus to raising her boys out of the spotlight, away from the drama. These days, Anita finds comfort in seeing her legacy live on, especially as her sons are carving out their own paths in music, just like she did. But even with that, her journey hasn't been smooth sailing. Contract disputes with her record label kept stalling her momentum. Fans were starving for new music, but her ongoing battles with Elektra and later Atlantic Records left her career in a bit of a standstill. It was like, when's the next chapter? But the drama behind the scenes kept holding things up.
From inner city Detroit, there's a thing in my mind that says to me, if my career, this was like a 1 in a million shot to even be here. And if this goes down the drain because of some type of incompetence, I could live with it being my own incompetence.
Nita.
But if it was someone else's, I'd do.
It never will for you.
Even when she made her big return in 2004 with My Everything, things weren't exactly smooth. The album had some standout tracks, but the drama with her label was still hanging over her head. It wasn't the triumphant comeback fans hoped for, and though My Everything was a solid effort, the behind-the-scenes battles kept her from fully reclaiming that spotlight. Fans were waiting, but the business side of things was still keeping her in limbo.
It goes to. I want to thank your mom. I want to thank Lois Landry, without whom I would not be singing today. And my sister Jean, my niece and my nephew, Mashawn and Jermaine, and don't forget my producer, Mike Powell. And
The drama? Oh, it didn't stop there. Technical issues, management conflicts, and legal battles kept popping up, making Anita's comeback a whole circus. And let's not forget Anita's perfectionist streak, which didn't exactly help the situation. She wanted everything to be flawless, but with all those hurdles, it made getting back on track even harder. Despite all the chaos, Anita Baker's impact on music, undeniable. The woman's talent earned her 8 Grammy Awards, multiple platinum albums, and a permanent spot in the R&B Hall of Fame as one of the most iconic voices of her era. No matter the drama, her legacy was cemented. No one could take that away from her. In 2013, Anita Baker was inducted into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame, a true testament to her lasting impact on music. Fast forward to today, and Anita's net worth is estimated at a cool $40 million, reflecting her incredible career achievements and the legacy she's built. She's most remembered for her classy, jazz-infused romantic soul, her timeless hits, and that voice, one that's still unmatched in R&B. And let's not forget her refusal to compromise her artistry, even when it meant clashing with fans, collaborators, and the whole industry. Whether you love her or think she's a little too diva for your taste, one thing's for sure, Anita Baker knows how to keep people talking. She's built her empire on her terms, and no matter what, you can't help but respect the hustle.